relationship and application timeline to go behind the scenes and show you a recently secured partner visa for one of our lovely clients and couples, and for you to get an understanding of this couple's relationship facts to compare against yours, and also to get an idea of how long an application might take based on how long this application took. So, this is an example of a subclass 801 and 820 being approved to an applicant from India. So, it's a double grant or a dual grant. This application was submitted on the 5th of October 2022. We received a request for information on the 6th of January 2023. So a few months later, received a request for information, which generally will be perhaps medicals or a missing police clearance or two, and then ultimately granted on the 11th of February 2023. So this is a 4-month processing time for a double grant, which I think, under anyone's standards is quite good, quite fast. Some cases will be this fast and some will not. It's often very difficult to predict how long a case will take, but hopefully these application timeline videos give you an idea of how long they truly are taking, compared to the processed averages you'll see on the department website. So this couple met online in July 2013, then met in person a couple of weeks later in July 2013, started dating exclusively in September 2013, introduced to each other's family in March 2018. Okay, so kept the relationship on the DL for a while, which is not uncommon. Okay, it's just a interesting, unique fact to this relationship. Obtained joint bank accounts. Proposed to each other. So got engaged in January 2019. Okay, so keep in mind this application was lodged in October 2022. Okay, so engaged in January 2019, opened up joint accounts in October 2021, married in December 2021. So almost 2 years prior to lodgement. 1 year prior to lodgement of the partner visa. Went on a holiday in January 2022, engaged our services in March 2022. We then worked with the couple to strengthen their relationship and strengthen their facts. They nominated each other's beneficiaries to their super policies in March 2022, obtained a joint lease, another one, in June 2022, and opened up Australian bank accounts in August 2022, and then eventually submitted the application in October 2022. So, this is an interesting case because this couple received a double grant, a dual grant. However, they weren't really on paper in a long-term, long-standing relationship for at least 3 years prior to lodgement. To me, it's debatable whether or not these types of facts would lead to a double grant, because there's two ways to get a double grant generally, and that is if an application takes 2 years with the government. So if you submit and it takes more than 2 years, they can grant you both. Or if you submit and it takes less than 2 years, but you were in a long-term relationship for 3 years prior to lodgement, or 2 years if there's a child of the relationship, then they can grant you the double. Now, when I say long-term or long-standing relationship, that is as a de facto or married couple, not just dating. So, this couple have been dating for a long time. So it's clear that the government accepted that they, even though they were only married for 12 months, that they were actually de facto for at least 2 years prior to that. Okay, so this is an example of, you don't necessarily need to be married for 3 years to qualify. There can be a combination of having been in a long-term de facto relationship for a couple of years and married for another year and then apply for a partner visa. And this couple were thankfully granted the double grant. However, if you present these facts to me in a call, I would say, look, it looks as if you might qualify for the double grant, but ultimately it's very hard to predict. And sometimes, cases like this won't get the double. So, they were a bit fortunate, really. And that's obviously a good thing. You take the wins when you can in this industry. So, this is an example of a double grant in the scenario where it might not have been totally clear if they were going to get the double grant, but ultimately they did. So, to summarize the facts of this case, had met each other 9 years prior to lodgement, started dating about 9 years prior to lodgement as well. When I say dating, I mean dating. I don't mean de facto. They were just boyfriend, girlfriend, let's say, back then. Were engaged 3.5 years prior to lodgement, which is a clear, a good fact there, a clear indicator of maybe that was used by the department to accept that they were in a long-term relationship. And then were married approximately 9 months prior to lodgement. started pulling their finances approximately 12 months prior to lodgement, and then obtained their first joint lease around 4 months prior to lodgement. So again, an interesting combination of facts, particularly because they were granted the double grant. And it goes to show that you can't always predict, but there were some key indicators that would suggest that they might have got it or might get it. If you have similar facts, you might get it, but unfortunately, it's impossible to predict. So I hope this video and application and relationship timeline case study is well received. I hope that you learn from it and that you can compare your facts against this couple, and that you can start implementing some things in your relationship, to move yourselves closer to meeting the partner visa criteria. If, of course, you and your partner are interested in working with our team of lawyers to prepare your application for you, you are welcome. And we invite you to book your free roadmap call with our team. There should be a link somewhere in this video to book a call with our team. And we look forward to speaking with you, and all the best.